I want to address a post I came across online yesterday focusing on DragonCon co-founder Ed Kramer and his most recent indictment on charges of sexual misconduct. Granted, I've been going to DragonCon off and on for 15 years, and it's cool to meet people who shares my same love and camaraderie for sci-fi, fantasy, comics, and occasional horror and anime. I met some great creators and some celebrities. And I met some really cool people. And sadly, even in fandom, you will find trolls and trolls. Or for better lack of a term, bitches and assholes. They got a place in this world. They have no place around me. But if they started with me, I will finish it with them. That's just how I am. I put this post on some forums that I hope will impact a thoughtful response. Some were passionate, some tried to rationalize it, and others just chose to be catty and trollish. To those who made the thoughtful posts, I feel where you're coming from, and it is sad that the conduct of Kramer and his enablers cast a dark cloud on this convention. I've been to a couple of other shows too, and I hope to check out some more, just to do a comparison of how they're run, and whose appearances are going to bring the most to that show. But, and I've said this online, I'll say it out front. The actions of Kramer and his enablers should not reflect upon the con itself, because in the end, it's the fans who suffer. For those who chose to be catty and trollish about it, this is my answer to you. You're going to see more about this discussion wherever thread you go on to. But you got to admit, it must hit home to you, because maybe it might have been you or somebody you know that had been sexually abused. And even though Kramer's idea did bring a lot of joy to a multitude of fans, his conduct cannot be overlooked or condoned. Eventually, Kramer will be brought to justice. And no amount of cash settlement will ever try to ease the suffering of those he inflicted upon, but I hope it will give them closure. But in between that regard, I hope his victims found the strength to move forward with their lives and not let abuse or bitterness overcome them. I understand what it's like. Believe me, I've known people who suffered, and I've been around trifling people enough to know that if you give them power over you without their knowledge, you will not function. I hope that they stood strong and decided to go on with their lives and pursue their goals, dreams, ambitions, and ultimately find happiness. But for those who want to try to smooth this over for the sake of not wanting to see DragonCon end, you're doing nothing but becoming an enabler to Kramer. I've even heard fans diss the point that it was author Nancy A. Collins who opted to boycott DragonCon until Kramer was no longer involved, which is her prerogative, and I'm assuming it depends on how strong her fan base is. They might follow in kind, but it's got to take the efforts of the fans to say that not even they can tolerate madness such as this. It's time we took a stand against those who feel because of their power and position they can get away with anything. And for those who choose to be catty and trollish about it, you are fools. because you never know when it may be you who might have to go through what these other victims of Kramer's have gone through. No type of rationale is going to change that. I'll still probably go to Dragon Con this year, depending on who the guests are. And I'm an aspiring professional myself, so I hope to market and network my ideas and concept and get some pointers. I'm also a returning college student, and I want to have the degree to go with my credentials. If I've offended anybody with that post, it wasn't intended. I'm just trying to bring consciousness to a very serious subject. I appreciate those who left the really thoughtful comments and also commend you for sharing your stories. But for the shrews and trolls, I've got no time for you. I will say this to them. If you want a battle, I got 2 words for you. Let's go. I also want to encourage all my other fanboys and fangirls to take a stand and let Dragon Con know we'll support you, but Kramer and his enablers cannot be condoned or tolerated. Both words have the same meaning, but I just had to be more direct. So I'm going to say this again. Fans of Dragon Con have got to let the showrunners know that while we will support you, we cannot condone what Kramer has done. And if he had any care for the fans, he would recluse himself from the event as a whole. That would probably be the only honorable thing he's ever done in his life. I'll leave it up to the fans how you want to process my video. And I welcome any comment, good or ill. Whether I choose to give you props or battle you, it's entirely up to you. So speak wisely.